Hello, everybody. Surprise. I know I said that I'm not going to give any lecture till next week. The reason I'm giving the lecture is basically because of the importance of those days. I'm not going to take too much of your time, hopefully, in half an hour. I will be able to give you all the message and the consciousness. So let's summarize what we did so far. Those of you who follow with me here in LA, those of you who have been with me and been with us vital and enjoy what we did so far. So let's start like that. About 53 days ago, we started the month of Virgo. I don't know if you remember that. It was 30 days of cleanse, 30 days of working on ourselves, looking inside, looking what is that we want to change. How do we want the next Jewish year to look like? In those 30 days, we did something called slichot. We blow the shofar. We look inside, and we start asking ourselves, what is about last year that went wrong? Or what is about last year that I didn't think big enough that I can think big enough for next year? And we discover that there is a lot of things we need to change. And then Rosh Hashanah came. Rosh Hashanah, the day that God created the first human, Adam and Eve. And we study on Rosh Hashanah that what we're supposed to be doing, we're supposed to deal with basically all that filth, all that desire in us that it's not truly serving our soul. And we went and we dig inside for 48 hours on Rosh Hashanah. The first day of Rosh Hashanah fall on Shabbat, so we didn't blow the horn, the shofar. And the second day fall on Sunday, so we did a great job with a lot of people here, thank God. And even with the COVID-19, somehow we were outside and we set it up in such a way that everybody can benefit from the holiness of the day, and in the same time benefit from the idea of cleaning whatever we need to clean inside of our soul. Now remember, Rosh Hashanah has to do with the persecutor, when the evil side is going after our case. So for 1 year, a person can be selfish. In the end of the Jewish year, which happened in the month of Libra, again, I'm not going to go and explain it again, why in the 7th month is the beginning of the Jewish year. 7 represent Malchut. Malchut represent ending of physicality. So the presentation of the Dark Lord, front of God, of what's wrong with us, and why he suggests that we no longer should be alive, or he suggests that the person will go to some pain and punishment. And God is sitting on the on the throne of judgment, and he allowed to judge or not. And it's written there that righteous people right away been written for the book of life and been signed for the book of life. Righteous people. Mediocre, written to the book of life, but not been signed till Yom Kippur. Wicked people, not been written to the book of life, and they've been wait till Yom Kippur until to see what to do with them. That's a three group of people. What is a wicked? Wicked is a person just thinking about themselves. Basically, they worship themselves. They are the idol worshipping, and they are worship themselves. So Rosh Hashanah, with the shofar, we are create confusion in the upper world to the dark side, and giving us a chance to pray, to meditate, and to change, and to transform the area of my life where I need to become better. Unfortunately, there is sometimes confusion about when I pray, what can I get? What if what you can get is asking God not to give it to you? Can you imagine if you are addicted to drugs that can kill you, You're asking God, please make me don't want that drugs, and please don't give it to me. What we do instead many times when we pray to God, please give it to me, and please make it available, and make it cheap so I can have it. It's a paradox of life. And that paradox that exists in our brain and our head comes from the Dark Lord. Our job, with the help of the Creator, is to change it. That's why we use the shofar. The word shofar comes from the word leshaper, to become better. After that 48 hours of fighting the Dark Lord, 10 days after, we have Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, different story. We're fasting, we're not drinking, not eating, we're praying 5 pray. And at that time when we are doing it, there's a trick. We're tricking the Dark Lord by saying we're going to take a goat and we're going to put in the goat all the selfish behavior that I ever had. And then you can complain about us. The Dark Lord say, you know what? I see that you and God are talking to each other. I better make myself look good in front of God. I'm going to forgive you for everything you did. And I'm not going to present it in front of God. Because the Dark Lord knows that if we're going to be busy complaining about that, while we're giving back all the negativity that we created to him, he thinks that if he will go against us, he will lose even the little bit that he has. Because we tricked him already on Rosh Hashanah. But the tricks on Yom Kippur is a little different. Again, I cannot go into all the details. I explained it many times to our people here in LA when they come to my lectures and pray. And it's online as well. And here come after Yom Kippur, we have few days that called the day of Chasadim. What is the day of Chasadim? Day of mercies. Between Yom Kippur to Sukkot, which I'm going to explain in a second, we have days of mercy. And the idea is like that. Until now, those 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur were judgment. Judgment, dinim. Judgment, gvurot, judgment. What is judgment? It's good and bad. In one way, put your life into structure. Other hand, it's not motivating. But losing weight is also not motivating. You know, you want to eat whatever you want, but you don't want to look as far as the body taking you. So structure comes from judgment. Joy comes from love. There is people who only talk about love. Something is off because they have only mercy in their heart. It's good, but you don't have judgment. The heart is built from 2 pump. Give blood, take blood. Both of them have to be working well. It's not enough just to give blood, which is love. It's not enough just to receive blood, which is gvura, which is more receiving. You need to have both. So until Yom Kippur, judgment. In Yom Kippur, we're shifting into mercy. And then you have day of mercy till we build the structure called Sukkah. The word Sukkah, meaning it's like a shelter. It's almost like something to protect us from those dinim, from those gvurot, from this type of judgment. It's to protect us, to create protection around us. What we do, we build a structure, look like a house, but the house like a shack. And then we put few curtains around it. We put a roof made of pieces of palm trees so we can see the star. And we stay there. We pray there, we eat there, we sleep there. Whatever you can afford. If in your country it's very hot, of course, you're not meant to suffer on Sukkot. Or if there is a lot of rain, you're not supposed to stay. But it's a symbol of the whole concept of something called light of mercy. The Sukkah is giving us a chance to build ourselves from beginning. So until Sukkot, you're cleaning yourself. You're cleaning the judgment, the selfishness, the idol worshipping. You clean and you clean and you clean. Yom Kippur come to the end. You have something called Nila. we're singing. And then we have something called chotam, chotam primi, the inner ceiling. The inner ceiling, meaning you're sealing all your achievement, so the dark side cannot steal it from you. As you get to that level, you have mercy days, I say between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, and then you have 7 days of Sukkot. Each day, you're shaking the lulav, the etrog. Lulav is the palm trees, willow leaves, myrtles, branch, and citrus. Citrus it looks like lemon. When you holding those 4 elements, they represent the 4 letters of God. Each one of them. Each one of them. 4 letters of God. Of course, which one is what? There's always question. So there is many explanations. The simple explanation that we can have, you can either look at the etrog, the one look like lemon, as high level, or you can look at it as the low level, because if it's a high level, it's have a flavor and it's have a smell. The dates has a flavor, but don't smell. The myrtle branch, smell, but no flavor. The willow branch, no smell, no flavor. So this is, go there. First the lemon, the citrus, is the yud of Yud Kevavke. The palm trees is basically, there is again 2 opinions on that. If that's the A or that's the Vav. Then you have the myrtle, which is opinion if it's A and the Vav. And the willow is the last A, which is Malchut. There's many ways to look at it. I'm just giving you the basic. When we are buying this set, and we're going into the sukkah, we're shaking it to 6 directions. When you shake it to the south, you're getting wisdom. When you shake it to the north, you're asking to be rich. When you shake it to the east, simply you're getting the whole idea of that your family and children will do well. When you shake it up, you're getting long life. Shake it down, you're getting the money that you spend on a daily basis. And when you shake it to the west, you include everything. The sukkah is giving you all the potential of your desire. Because when you think selfish, you're thinking small. When you think in giving, you're thinking big. Very simple. Those of you who are into giving gift, you know, when you buying gift, you're thinking out of yourself. You know, every person has to think about himself. Can I give gift? Gift can be charity. Gift can be just wrapping a box and start sending. You know, sending. I know a student that surprised their teacher every week with a gift. Sometimes it's a small. They buy a pencil. They buy a pen. They put a note. Doesn't matter what it is. So every week they do something. That by itself is a gift. So what you want to do in Sukkot, you want to reach to your full potential. And the Creator, God, is saying, I'm going to give you all the light that you need for your potential, but you have to create a vessel, a container, so you can desire what I'm trying to give you. Very simple, Sukkot. So why we need to shake the lulav and the etrog and those things in the sukkah, the willows and the myrtle, because they are awakening another aspect of the light, which is in the level of Ze'er Anpin. Ze'er Anpin is what type of pipe do you want the delivery to come? Right? You have Amazon, UPS, DHL, all kind of system until it's arriving. So how do you want the gift to come to you? Sukkot, you ask for the gift. The Ze'er Anpin is what type of pipes, how do you want it delivered to you? Do you want the blessing to be delivered as love? Do you want the blessing to be delivered as money? Do you want the blessing delivered as health? You know, different way. But if you're asking for big thing, you have to be willing to change. Because a change can come, but are you willing to move? Many people are asking for better life, but they don't do anything about it. Sukkot and the shaking of the lulav and everything, tremendous. Doing Sukkot, there is another thing that it's increased the level of happiness for the entire year. And there is something called Nisuch HaMayim. Hopefully you can do it with midos of your LLA. We take water, and we pour the water from one container to another. Simple. Symbol of the flow of the water, the flow of life. It's what they used to do on top of the altar in the temple in Jerusalem. And when we're doing it, we connect to that time. And the Talmud said it was nothing more happy than pouring that water above the altar. So just think like that. Hopefully you join me for doing it. The last day of Sukkot, consider one of the most important days. Why? Because in that day, there is a second sealing. Remember the sealing that we did on the end of Yom Kippur? It's called inner sealing. Now come the external sealing. The external sealing has to happen in the end of Sukkot, which is the seventh day. Remember what I say before about 7. 7 is manifestation. 7 is the malchut. 7 is the outcome. So that's what happened. So here we go. I'm reading from the Arin Pri Etz Chaim. וזה סוד גן נעול אחותי כלה, גן נעול מעיין חתום. King Solomon in the book of Songs say, the garden is locked, my sister the bride, the garden is locked, and also the spring water is locked. כי המעיין שהוא יסוד של הכלה, הנקראת מעיין כדודה, that מעיין, that spring, which is called kala, which is called the bride, okay, is חתום, על ידי חותם, is already sealed by חותם, that we did on Yom Kippur. Why we did that? כדי שלא ישלטו שם החיצוניים. So there is nobody from the dark force that will control it. כדרך הכלה שאוגדת אחיה לבעלה, יש לה זר בה, עד שתדברי לבעלה ביום שני עצרת. Like a woman, before she get married to her husband, she keeps herself pure until her husband will come to marry her. And we continue. אמנם חותם זה מתחיל לעשות בליל הושענא רבה. When is this חותם happen? When is that sealing happen? From the night of הושענא רבה. ולכן בליל הושענא רבה הוא זמן החתימה של העולם. This is when the entire world, the entire universe, the entire galaxy have sealed לבני האדם אם לחיים אם למוות. For people, if they will be alive or they're going to die, like the Zohar said. Can you imagine? That night is the decision. This is it. When is it? Thursday night till Friday morning. כי הלא אז נעשה חותם החיצון. Because then we are building the חותם החיצון. We're building the external חותם. Remember, in Yom Kippur, we're dealing with the inner chotam. ולכן נידונים הנשמות בליל הזה וסדר הלילה הזו. So what do we need to do? The first half of the night, meaning before midnight, you gotta read the 5 books of Moses completely. And you have to have the merit to finish it before midnight. So it takes about 1 hour and 40 minutes. Always start 2 hours before midnight. So let's say midnight, I don't know what time midnight is here. I think it's 1:15. 12:40. So you have to start at 11 to read the Torah. If you start To read 11, supposed to be finished by then. So I recommend quarter to 11 to start, let's say 10:30 a lecture. Quarter to 11 to start, you have a good chance to finish it. תעסוק בתורה. Once you finish it, study Kabbalah. Nothing else. Don't study any other book besides Kabbalah. And try to either Idra Zuta Vesitre Kabbalah, in secret of Kabbalah. So the first part of the night, the first part is after midnight. So what do you need to do? You have to go after midnight to check if what your situation look like. And you're going to see your shadow in front of the moon. Look weird, I know it look weird. First time I did it, it did look weird to me. First time I did it was 1989. I was in Tel Aviv. After we did it, we pray. In the morning, it was a lot of rain. Why you have to go in front of the moon? Because at that time in heaven they know what's happening. What exactly happening? After midnight, they're giving the note. You should ask. If Rosh Hashanah already they decided what's going to happen, and Yom Kippur they seal it, why? We're doing it again. Because that's when they give the note. So let's say you change. You decided to become better. You no longer scream at your husband or your wife or your kids. You're no longer stealing or you get jealous. You are now, you're no longer cheating. You are now doing what? You change. So there is a note been given. The note can change between Rosh Hashanah and Sukkot. Biyad HaShluchim. There is a Shluchim. Shluchim is a messenger. אבל עד כל זה, לא יודע מה שאני לפעול בקדין של מצרים. They get the note, they know what they're supposed to be doing, but there is no permission by them to kill anybody or to hurt people. רק עד יום שמיני עצרת. They're allowed to touch people only till Saturday night. כי הדבר תלוי תוך הזמן הזה. At that time they give people chance to change. שאם יחזור בתשובה יחזרו לעיקרי הפתקים. If the person changed, becoming better, acting better, they take the paper and tear it apart. For that reason, on Hoshana Rabba, as much as it's only mercy, Sukkot, there is a little judgment. That's why there is two types of Kabbalists. There is Kabbalists when they do Tashlich. They throwing it after the first day of Rosh Hashanah to the river. Tashlich is when you say a prayer to get rid of your sin. And there is Kabbalists who waiting till Hoshana Rabba to do it. So you go to your teacher, and the teacher, to your rabbi. Each have to be a person who know what they're doing. They look at the shadow. And the shadow in that night has two shadows. The regular shadow and inside the shadow. So usually we put white fabric, white sheet on the floor. We look at, hopefully the moon will shine. And through the reflection of the moon, we look at the shadow to see how the future will look like. And if it doesn't look good, as a God forbid it's missing hand or arm or stomach, then we tell the person, listen, you got to do tshuva, you got to do repentance, you got to change. The next year doesn't look good. In the morning, you have to be careful very much with the prayer. You have to pray well. Because after the prayer of Hoshana Rabba, very difficult to fix your life. So the prayer that you're going to pray Friday morning, define how much money you're going to have, how happy you will be, how healthy you will be, how much love you're going to be. I don't see why people don't take that holiday very seriously. Like we should have like 20 minyanim, starting the first one in Alot HaShachar, second minyan at 7, third minyan at 8. This is supposed to be the prayer of the year. And I hope, I don't know if Debbie can pass it on to all of our people in LA. It's a serious thing. Because of social distancing, we cannot have more than 15 people at a time. But think about it. This is it. This is it. You cry why you lost your job? Hoshana Rabba. You cry why the COVID? Hoshana Rabba. You cry because last Hoshana Rabba, we couldn't do a good job. I don't know if you remember that, guys. Those of you who are in LA. Debbie, poor Debbie, was begging everybody. Say Eliyahu said, me Eliyahu, that he's begging you to come, please to pray, because the next year don't look as good as he wanted. I don't know if you remember even that. Then I go with my son, Yehuda, and we go to all the shul on Pico. We have about 25 of them. And my son looked at me and said to me, why are you so sad? And I said, that was last October, guys. And I said, I cannot find any shul that doing it according to the Ari and the Zohar. And even the one who going according to that are not doing it that right. I was concerned. In the end, we found the shul. We thought they would do it right. They didn't do it all the way. And I was sad. Not for me, for the world. I hope this year people will shake themselves a little bit from their bed and stay awake, like their life depends on it. I tell you why, because your life depends on it. I wish I could tell you better news. But those of you who are into removing COVID, cancer, disease, terrorist attack, earthquake, global warming, all those nice talking about global warming, there is a way. Yeah, they wrote about it 3,000 years ago. They wrote about it. They say one day, Hoshana Rabba. You know what Hoshana Rabba means? Help us a lot. So we go in the morning and we pray. I just hope again for you guys, join my children, myself, for that night. לפי שלא לשנה הבאה נכתבים הפתקים, ושאומר שנה רבה נמסרים הפתקים. Those note is giving on that day. לפי שאז נתקן באי בדי הרבה, שהם אי גבורות. And at the morning, after you finish pray, you take 5 willow branch and you're hitting on the ground with them. Why? Because you already took care of the mercy, the judgment, and now you're ready for the connection between the upper and the lower to connect. You become a channel for them. So this is a quite important to understand. I mean, I can go ahead more and more about it, but I don't see the point. After that, yeah. Yeah. By the way, here the Hari said, Hoshana Rabba is also ביום זה ניצולו מיד כולם. לכן הושענא רבה. The Hari said, it's tremendous. If you want to be safe from everything, it's the night of Hoshana Rabba. What do you want more than that? Tremendous, tremendous. I just saw this line. I didn't see it before. Yeah. The day after Hoshana Rabba, it's called Shmini Atzeret in America, and in Israel it's called Simchat Torah. Why different? Because the energy in Israel is different. If you think you're above that, be my guest, do it your way. All the Kabbalists are doing it according to the United States because they live here. As there is the illusion of Israel, well, when you are above illusion, then you can do above illusion. But if you're still surrounded by COVID-19, loss of job, money, you're not above the illusion. So why don't you follow the rules of those Kabbalists and make sure that on Friday night is not Simchat Torah, it's Shmini Atzeret. Shmini means the 8 that stop. What is this day for? This day is basically a unique day, 8, Binah, that God is giving to the people outside of Israel. In Israel, Shmini Atzeret Simchat Torah, same day. In outside of Israel, you get 2 days. You get Shmini Atzeret, the first day is one holiday, which is the holiday that you stop, and the Creator give you special energy just for you. Simchat Torah, that will happen Saturday night, that's the day you're dancing with the Torah. To say to God, thank you, that through the Torah you saved my life. And then, Sunday night, all this marathon of holidays of 23 days, straight days of holidays, finished. And then we start the year in the end of the 7 months. So, if a person wants to change, what is the beginning? People ask me, Eliyahu, how do we start to change? How do we start to get better? And I know that a lot of you have a lot of creative idea how to change and how to be wonderful and how to help the poor. But you can't just come up with new idea when you have billions of ideas that was written by people that happened to meet God. Somebody asked me earlier, did I meet God? No, I didn't. Didn't. But I met the books that was written by people I trust. Now I know you need to have faith, you need to have emunah, you need to have belief, you need to have certainty that those books are really written by people that you can respect. The book I'm using, especially tonight, is Likutei Moharan by a rabbi by the name of Rabbi Nachman Breslev. And he writes, what is the way you start? And that's what he writes. צריך להיזהר מאוד. You gotta be careful very much. מעצבות ועצלות. There is 2 things that finishing every soul. Sadness and laziness. כי עיקר נשיכת הנחש, when the snake bite a person, הוא עצבות ועצלות. When a snake bite a person, it make them lazy or it make them sad. It's shocking, right? You think the man think it's sex or drugs or stealing. עצבות ועצלות, sadness and laziness. And he take a verse from Isaiah. ונחש עפר לחמו. The snake, the dirt it is his bread. What is dirt? It's heavy, gravity. עצבות, sadness come from the dirt. עצלות, laziness come from the dirt. שהם באים מיסוד העפר. Everything come from the afar, as it written in the book of Formation by Abraham the patriot. The patriot. And I continue. And it say like that. דע שאפשר שישב אחד אצל חברו. A person can sit next to his friend. במקום אחד בגן העדן. In the Garden of Eden, which is the most beautiful place, perfect place. ולזה יהיו כל התענוגים ושעשועים וכל השי עולמות. And he will experience all the perfection of life. וחברו לא ירגיש כלום. But his friend cannot feel a thing. ולא יהיה לו שום תענוג. And his friend will have no pleasure. How can that be? How can that be? ויהיה לו כל התענוגים והשעשועים וחברו על פי שיושבת לו להרגיש כלום. כי ליבו חסר מכל זה, מכל הטובות והשם שיש לחברו הצדיק בתוך ליבו, אשרי לו. כי עיקר הרגשת תענוג ושעשוע עולם הבא, כל השלומות, הכל הוא בלב. He said when a person doesn't have a heart, No heart. Doesn't matter how much you give them. You buy them, you give them, you take care of them. They can't feel. You know what the punishment is that? You ever felt, I have a big house, I have beautiful children, wife, husband, good car, a first class ticket to any place I want, and I still cannot be happy. You understand how miserable you are if that's what you're going through? You have to change it on Hoshana Rabba. So what do we learn from that? It's not what you're having. It's what you're experiencing. That's what you're changing. Friday morning, Thursday night. Thursday night when you come to hear the reading. And then Friday morning when you come to pray, which is the most important pray, mostly for the men, by the way, not for the women. Why not for the women? Because women don't have to do that job. Men have to do that job. And it's all, if you want to open your heart, it's all start with your mind. Your mind have to give order to the heart to open. And Likutei Moharan in Kuf Tzaddik Gimel, again I'm skipping so it will be easier for us to understand. Da שהמחשבה יש לה תוקף גדול. Our מחשבה has power. Our thought has power. ואם יחזק ויגבר מחשבתו לאיזה דבר שבעולם, if a person put his mind into something, his intention, her or his intention into something, יוכל לפעול שיהיה הכך, שאפילו אם יתחזק במחשבתו שיהיה לו ממון, person want to have a certain amount of money, בוודאי יהיה לו. What is the amount of money you want? Put your mind into it. Think about it. It will happen. רק שהמחשבה תהיה בביטול כל ההרגשות. But that thought has to be the only thing you have. והמחשבה תקיפה כל כך, the thought will be so strong, עד שאפשר למשול נפשו במחשבות דומות. Until you're ready to die for that thought. דהיינו שירגיש צער אמיתה ממש. The person has to feel like he's dying when he's going after that goal. על ידי שיקבל על עצמו ברדעתו שהוא רוצה לפצור נפשו לקידוש השם. בזה אמיתה ממש תהיה. The person has to feel like he's dying for that purpose. Then, money is coming. Health is coming. Solution is coming. אפשר לחזק ולגבר המחשבה כולה שבשעה שמקבלו מחשבתו שהוא רוצה, אז זה ירגיש צער אמיתה ממש. If a person, for example, feeling that he want to die for the purpose of spirituality, but he put it in his mind strong, he can feel the death itself even if he's not dying. The same thing, like Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva, when the Roman captured him, and the Roman like to torture people before they kill them, take the skin off. All his thousands of students told him, Rabbi, is this spirituality? That's the reward of spirituality. And he answered, all my life I tried to do this one precept, one mitzvah, and I couldn't do it. What was the mitzvah? To worship God even if it's taking your soul. You can only do it one time in your life. And now when I can do it, you want me to be regretting it? For me, we learned that Rabbi Akiva was meditating on that every day until it happened. What do we learn from that, my friend? When a person is happy is when he gives. When a person is happy, he's giving. When a person is busy with themselves, can't be happy. Because it's all about you. When we come Thursday night, you have to think giving. What am I giving to the world? Not what I want the world to be remember me like. What am I giving? And then if they want to remember me as a giver, good. But what am I giving? Am I good with money? Some people are good with money. Am I giving enough? Am I giving enough love? Am I giving enough joy to the people I love? And am I taking care? If that, what I'm telling you now, is not moving you in a way that you're sitting and crying, that you're not giving enough, then there's no point even to listen to that. I'm not recommend you're going to continue on a spiritual journey if you don't think giving every time. But if you think giving but you don't give, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. And you're lying to yourself for a long time, that you get used to your lie. I know a person that I love to meet cheap people. One of my favorite things is to educate cheap people to give. I cannot witness on myself or Debbie that we are generous, but I don't know if we are. I think we are. I cannot witness on myself. So, I remember it was a gentleman or a woman, I don't remember who it was. Tried to go back, so we met so many people. That they didn't believe in tithing. I said, you gotta give 10%. You have a great job. You basically do nothing. And you just get paid. And wherever I travel, they like to travel with me. And I said, how come you travel? You don't have a job? So no, I can work from home. I can work from any place I want. And I get paid. One time, Debbie and me got a gift. And we decided to take that gift and maybe to teach them example of sharing. And we get, doesn't matter what it was, and we share part of that gift with them for free, of course. Not only that, we make sure that whatever they need, they will have there, if it's food, if it's a luxurious, if it's a driver, everything. I said, maybe that's going to wake them up to give. What do you think happened? Nothing. They never woke up to give. And they continue with loving life, and they were busy only with one thing. I want to find somebody really who's going to love me. That's what they told me. I want to find somebody who's going to love me. And of course, Debbie and me always try to help people to get what they want. And Debbie, I remember, told me, I want you to help in that area. I said, okay, I will do whatever you ask me. When you are cheap, to the bones marrow cheap, at that moment, you're not going to change until you really cry now when I'm talking. Because if you're cheap and you listen to my lecture, you know I'm talking about you. Yes, you. You're cheap. You're sick. You're sick to your bones. You always see what you don't have. I can tell you, learn from Debbie maybe. She's way more generous than me. If Debbie has anything extra, she will give it away. Even if she doesn't have extra, she will give it away. So if Debbie, let's say, I remember last year, we didn't have enough money to organize. We usually organize Sabbath in the Fontainebleau in Miami. And we give meals for free for the people, and we feed about, 100 people. And we let everybody pray, use the Torah. We organize it for them. Because a wonderful lady by the name of Carol, she helping us to have an apartment there. And that apartment we use to host people and to take care of people as much as we can. We like to give. And a lot of time, when we give people, Debbie and me, I realize it doesn't make them give. It makes them enjoy that they receive from us. But my goal by giving people that they will give too. And I don't see that it always happens. So when Hoshana Rabba is coming, and you don't look at yourself, where was I cheap? Because as the Rabbi Nachman Breslev said, sadness, עצבות, which is bara shchora, sadness, and atzlut, and laziness. Don't be lazy when it's come to giving. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy, please. You gotta give. You gotta give. Because those of you who work from home now after COVID-19, and you make good amount of money, you have good fortune and everything like that, and you're so happy that you found some opportunity for free, it's gonna go away one way or another. Not because it's a punishment, it's a rewarding by God, try to help you. He's gonna take everything away from you. Maybe you're gonna wake up to think, all what I have was not mine to begin with, so why am I not giving? And for that reason, every human being has to start thinking, how do I give back? And what Debbie and me are doing, I mean, you can help us with this or follow us with that. We are giving to people. I mean, since we make Vital for free and we make the meals for free, we try to do as much as we can to host more people. And I have to tell you, we're so blessed because people give donation to help us and do it for many more people. And hopefully we can do it globally to all over the world to give and give and give. You gotta start giving large. And you cannot decide what large is. If there is one person to ask what's enough, what's not enough, is Debbie. If you ever want to find one person you want to trust about, am I giving enough or not enough, it's Debbie. The quality of giving make a difference for how this year going to look like. The quality. The quality has to do with the amount of money, amount of food, amount of clothes. How do you do it? That's called quality. What to give, you can ask me or you can ask Debbie. But the quality, you gotta be with more quality. You gotta give more. Did you ever heard Debbie ask you for something which is not for you? I never heard her say something like that. Did she ask something for herself? Please challenge me on this. And that's what she's more fit for that specific job. And you have to start to wake up and give. And stop being too suspicious of the people around you. Should I trust them? Should I not? If you cannot trust them, then leave. Then go to the next people that you trust. You're wasting all your life. If you're already with a certain people, trust them and go with it. If you're not good with them, then move to the next group that you can trust. Find somebody you can trust. But don't be lazy and don't be miserable, please. I want to wish all of you Shana Tova, Chatima Tova, Pitka Tova, Happy Sukkot. And to tell you that I wish it was up to me to do miracle, that everybody will have just the best year and best year of health and no COVID, and everybody will be cured and everybody will find a job and have money and there will be no hunger in the world. But when negativity like this happens, it's not because God punishing us. God tried to wake us up. A very wise lady said to me last night, Eliyahu, somebody who doesn't change or doesn't wake up after COVID-19, something is really wrong with them. And I like what she told me. And it is the truth. We need to wake up. We need to wake up with the amount of giving, the quality of giving, and the certainty. You know, if you're happy with Debbie and me, then follow 100%. Don't follow 98. Don't follow 75. Follow 100. Go with it. If you have some doubts, work on that, or move to another group. There is so many other beautiful groups who teach spirituality, Kabbalah, and they're great. We're not telling you we are the best. We're not claiming it. We're claiming one thing. We are here to help you to get to your potential, to do better and better with whatever you want to do with your soul. Because life is about making your soul better. I love you very much, and I hope, and I wish, and I desire, and I pray, and I bless you to have a wonderful year for the people who are close to us, very close to us, for people who are far physically from us, but very close to us, and for the people who are not into us, or the people who don't like us. I also wish you really a great year, because we all need to have the best year ever. Thank you, and have the best year. Thank you.